Hi guys, this is gsn.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the Motorola Edge Plus. We've already unboxed the Motorola Edge, the regular one, the high mid-range one, and now it's time for the flagship. It's been about 4 years since Motorola launched a truly revolutionary flagship. I'm talking about the Moto Z, their first modular phone. Ever since then, innovation came in the form of mid-rangers. This time we get a truly interesting flagship. And also this time it has a glass back. The Motorola Edge had a plastic back. The camera placement feels a bit off if you're really into symmetry and all that. And just so you know, the price tag is quite hefty. It's actually 1,200 euros on the European market. Should be around $1,200 in other parts of the world. Okay, I'm going to fire it up. It's an unboxing, so we're going to see what's inside the box. One thing that I noticed at the Motorola Edge and also the Motorola Edge Plus is the fact that there are new system sounds, which usher us into a new generation of devices. Okay, so this handset, which has very curved edges and sits on the camera and wobbles a bit because it's a protruding camera, delivers us with some interesting stuff in the box. First of all, they're doing the Samsung approach of putting an envelope in the lid. And inside the envelope, we find the manual and, of course, a case, which is flexible, transparent, and has a pretty generous cutout for the camera. Next up, another set of useful info and all that. Okay, we have here some extra info and extra details, plus the SIM key used to access the slots. You just heard a brand new system sound. It sounds a bit sci-fi if you ask me. And then we have the charger, which has an USB-A connector, and it also juices up the device at 18 watts. Fast charge, but not the fastest in the world. I'm sure there are Snapdragon 865 flagships with faster charge. And here we are, a pair of headphones. They're pretty good looking. I mean, their tips are made of silicone, I'm guessing, and this feels like metal, although I wouldn't bet on it. You also get extra tips in case you have a variety of ear sizes. And finally, we also have a cable which goes from USB-C to USB-A and hooks up to the charger and to the PC and what have you. Trying to fit it here. I don't know how they could fit it here when they first boxed up the device. Okay, so that's that. That's been the unboxing. Now let's go to the device. As you can tell, I've already played with it for a bit. I've done the setup, and just like the Motorola Edge, it has those beautiful waves which are triggered as you swipe around. A cool little feature is that you can freeze the waves if you tap on the screen. Freeze and unfreeze, that's about it. Okay, so design wise, as you can see, it has a 3D curved glass. It goes all the way to the metal frame, leaving you the impression that there's actually no metal frame here. So glass at the front, 3D curved, also glass at the back. There are 3 color hues here: Smoky Sangria, Thunder Gray, and Baltic Gray. My impression is that this is the Baltic Gray. It's sort of like a frosted, smoky look. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so the aluminum frame between the 2 glass slabs is 9.6 millimeters in thickness. It's quite beefy, and the camera also adds to it a bit. The phone is rather heavy at 203 grams, and it's also quite long and quite narrow, but the whole narrowness thing will help you with the grip. So much glass would have made it pretty slippery. Luckily, the case will also increase the grip, and once again, its narrowness. Now, we talk about the display, we talk about the design. Let's talk about the display. This is an OLED 6.7 incher, 2340 over 1080 pixels, very much what you saw on the Motorola Edge, with 90 Hz refresh rate and HDR10 plus. From what I know, the Motorola Edge, the regular one, had only HDR10. There wasn't any HDR plus action going on there. Now inside the phone, we can find the famous Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 CPU, accompanied by 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.0 storage. No microSD, sadly. The battery is also beefed up. We're getting here a 5000 mAh unit, which also should provide with wireless charging, and also good news, reverse wireless charging. So you're going to put your watch or your headphones here and juice them up via this glass surface. We also have stereo speakers, so this is a set of speakers, and we also have the earpiece at the top used to complete the experience. At the bottom we also find the slot, microphone and USB-C port. I'm seeing a lot of holes here, so microphone hole 1 and microphone hole number 2, microphone hole number 3 above the camera. Interesting placement. Okay, so audio jack also made it, and the fingerprint scanner, which you probably already saw in action, is in the screen, and it's not exactly bad, if I'm being honest. Now on the camera front, you can see here in the corner on the top left side a punch hole. In the punch hole there's a 25 megapixel shooter for the selfies. At the back side it may look like a triple camera. It's actually a quad camera. This gigantic camera, we have here an 108 megapixel shooter. It's basically the same Samsung sensor that we saw on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro. It's a quad pixel and it combines 4 pixels into one 27 megapixel shot. So it's made by Samsung ISOCELL Bright HMX. It's accompanied by an 8 megapixel telephoto 3x optical zoom camera with optical image stabilization, also 16 megapixel ultra wide camera, and also time of flight 3D shooter, dual thingy kept here. Also the dual tone flash and the Motorola logo, the bat wing, just for security. Okay, so aside from that, on the connectivity front, we're all covered up with all the necessary standards and things to support. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, there's GPS, there's NFC, USB-C 3.1, and we're running on a stock Android 10. And the only thing that Motorola changed here from the stock Android 10 is this area. So basically they're providing you with a way to personalize your experience, make it your own with different styles, wallpapers and layout, and different fingerprint animation. There are also the Moto actions, the gestures, and also Moto display features, the lighting edge. You put the phone down, you're going to see the edges light up when there's a notification. Moto game time, a bunch of useful features, including virtual buttons on the curvature of the screen, better used for shooters in gaming. Now you've seen the camera interface on the Motorola Edge, so basically the options are the same as most Motorola phones. There's a 108 megapixel option here. You can take full shots, and the novelty compared to that model's filming is that this one goes to 6K. You can shoot stuff in 6K. So unlike Xiaomi, which offered us on the flagship 8K, which was actually upscale 6K, Motorola is being honest and delivering us with 6K video capture. So that's about it. This has been the unboxing and first impression about the Motorola Edge Plus. The same screen as the Motorola Edge, basically the same format, with an extra premium backside and a definitely more powerful back camera. Well, that remains to be seen as we tested. 108 megapixel is no small feat. We'll be back with a full review pretty soon. Remember that the price tag is also hefty, and this is a 5G phone. This is it from us. Bye bye.